Today, I thought I would do a quick kind of catch up on how my journey has been going, because I have shared this along the way with all of you. In fact, I started this when I started my journey and had discovered all these things that I did not know before and felt like, man, I got to get this info out there because I cannot be the only woman struggling with these issues of your body all of a sudden not working and your muscle tone disappearing and belly fat appearing and all those things. So I was looking back through some of my old videos because I actually started posting on social media, on Instagram in particular, back when I started my journey and sharing the tips and the information that I had. And oh my God, I've changed quite a lot since then. I look at myself back then, and I mean, I have gotten more toned, more lean. My face looks different because I'm thinner than I was. And that wasn't really the goal. But when you do body recomposition, you lose fat in your face as well. So I want to also encourage you that if you are starting on your fitness journey, or even if you're a year into it or 2 years into it, take some video of yourself doing things, even talking, because a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you're going to be really interested to see what did you look like back then and how much progress you have made. So I really started my weight training journey back in 2022 and it was about the turn of the year. And I had noticed that my muscle tone was pretty much gone. And I was just looking fluffy and not at all the way I was accustomed to looking. Because I've been an athlete my whole life. I played varsity field hockey, lacrosse, and soccer in high school, and then went on to play Division I lacrosse at Dartmouth College. I'm somebody who, in my teens and in my 20s, and even in my early 30s, I was running many times a week. I was weight training many times a week, going to yoga classes. It was not uncommon for me to go do a weight training session and then go for a run for an hour. That was completely normal for me. So a lot of my identity was wrapped up in being an athlete, looking like an athlete, looking fit. It was not around being thin. Thin was never my goal. I was not a dieter, thank God, because I've seen so many women that fall into that where they're just trying to be a smaller and smaller and smaller version of themselves. But I guess because I was an athlete, I felt confident as long as my body looked athletic. I got started doing an online program where they had these online classes that were using weights. And it did not take me long to realize, as I was simultaneously studying what you need to do to start weight training, did not take me long to realize that this is not applying the principles of building muscle, because we weren't tracking how many reps we were doing. We weren't making sure that we were doing more this time than we did last time. So the progress was really slow. And I fairly quickly started tracking and started kind of doing my own workouts and noticed that my progress was much, much faster when I started doing that. In fact, for a long time, I would have kind of the training session running in the background, and I'd be doing my own thing in the background because I was a little bit insecure about doing it myself. But so that first year, I really did the weight training. And unfortunately, I didn't take body composition measurements in the very, very beginning. I wish I had. But when I did a little bit later, when I'd already started doing some weight training, like serious weight training, the first thing that I noticed that happened in the body composition measurements was that I lost visceral fat. And that was amazing. So that's the belly fat. So even though I still wasn't looking hugely toned, it takes a long time to build muscle. I'd lost some visceral fat. So my waist started being there again. And of course, that's super healthy to lose that visceral fat. When I had been weight training for a little bit over a year, actually. I went on a 12-week super strict calorie deficit. I lost about 10 pounds. And that is when I really started looking different because I had to build the muscle underneath. And then I got rid of that extra fat. I am not a low body fat person right now. I am at a healthy body fat. And I started looking different. For the past year, over a year, I've been able to maintain that. And I was really amazed because the habits that I put in place in that first year and the things that I learned in that calorie deficit, which allowed me to put into place even better eating habits around protein, around how many calories I was getting, around being consistent, around planning meals, all these habits that I was able to put into place, like changing my eating lifestyle, has enabled me to really maintain my weight. If you look online at other personal trainers and fitness people, for sure, their exercise habits are important and the fact that they have muscle and everything, but every single one of them is conscious of how they're eating. They're not just going out and eating McDonald's every day or picking up something on the fly. That has been super instrumental in my ability to maintain this level of body fat, fitness. And then I've continued to weight train and I've continued to get stronger. Now, there are phases that you go through when you start weight training. In the very, very beginning, your body is learning how to do this stuff. Progress is quite quick as far as increasing your reps and increasing your weight. And that goes on for quite a while. For me, it went on for at least a year. I want to say closer to a year and a half in some exercises. And now I really am in the phase. So here I am 2.5 years in, where yes, I'm still making progress. Yes, I'm still keeping the same exercises in my program. I rotate them to some degree, but I have certain set of exercises that I enjoy, that I know are effective, that work well together, that I have the equipment in my gym and all the things. And for them, progress is happening, but it's slow. For me, for now, pull-ups are one of my standard exercises that I do. I'm all the time decreasing the level of help that I'm getting. I was doing assisted pull-ups, and then I started using rubber bands because they're even lighter and lighter and lighter rubber bands. So when I first started with the rubber band, I could get like 3 chin-ups, 3 times 3, because I was do 3 sets. And then my goal was, okay, next time I'll be able to do 4 in one of my sets. So then I would hopefully get 4 chin-ups in one of my sets. So it's really a matter of very slow progress, but good progress. 1 rep per week on an exercise at this point is great. So really what my journey has been to date is I started weight training first, and I did that for about a year and a half. Then I focused on fat loss for a short amount of time. So for 3 months, I was in a calorie deficit and I was really, really strict with that. And I continued to weight train during that time because I didn't want to lose the precious muscle that I had built. Then I've added in daily steps. So just movement in general. And one of the things that I have bought, which helps me with that, is I have a walk pad. I have added in cardio again. So for those first year and a half, I did not do very much cardio because I really wanted to focus on building muscle. And I know that building my cardio capacity back up is not going to take very long, honestly, compared to how long it takes to build muscle, especially. So I had limited amount of time. I wanted to focus on the thing that was most important to me, which was the muscle. Now I'm bringing cardio back into the picture, or I've brought cardio back into the picture in terms of sprint interval training, which is the one that's really advised for us middle-aged women. And then also fun cardio, going back to my dance classes or going dancing with my friends, doing things that I enjoy. Because honestly, exercise is not just checking boxes that you are doing things that you're supposed to do. You can just enjoy movement, go play tennis, hike, whatever it is that you enjoy doing. And then I always do balance exercises. I mean, every day I'm doing things that are maintaining my balance. And finally, the new thing that I'm going to be adding, and this will not take more than a minute a day, actually, is jumping. So, jump training, either jumping in place or jumping onto a step and down, jumping onto a step and down, this kind of thing. And that's the one that I haven't yet fit into my schedule so that I would be really reliable on it. But that is something that I need to do. Maybe it'll be that every day when I come upstairs to my office, the first time when I'm about to hop on the stairs, I jump up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down 10 times. Maybe that's a good one, actually. That could work. That would take care of it right there. And I could do the same thing right before lunch when my stomach is empty. So, yeah, a couple times a day, 10 to 20 jumps. And that would be a good start. Let's not make these things too complicated. And then I'll develop it from there. So that's where I am today. With that, I will end this and I'll probably do another one in like 6 months or so. And in the meanwhile, happy training.